Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Really. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to what? Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely.
All right, today, man, we're going to talk a little bit about the usual things that we do talk about, being family men, businessmen, entrepreneurs, and how it affects our life, how it affects our livelihood. It affects the people that surround us, man. So today, people, I have a guest in the studio with me, Marsalis Clay, a really, really good friend of mine, grew up with, childhood friend of mine. We both sit in the seats of entrepreneurs, family men, businessmen, and a lot of times we share and bounce information back and forth off each other, just to be able to keep each other afloat. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my man today, Marsalis Clay, owner of Full Surface Painting Company.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Man, so introduce yourself to the people and let them know a little bit about yourself.
So, my name is Marsalis Clay. I'm based out of Cleveland, Ohio. I used to be a CNC machinist. Went to school for it, and then honestly, I know how to paint.
Artiste type shit.
I've been painting for like I want to say like maybe like a good like 16, 17 years. Been painting. Worked for a couple of different companies for the most part. Learned different ways of painting and different ways of doing things. But it honestly wasn't until I went to school to become a CNC machinist and start working, full time there, busting out a whole lot of overtime hours, seeing like a little bit of money coming back, but then still having to deal with like the same, whether it's like, racial bullshit or, I'll just be honest, dealing with everybody's energy, like it's just, like some things are a bit too much to have to deal with, especially when you know that it's possible to actually be able to do more for yourself than what somebody's able to, than what somebody tells you.
Agreed. I agree with that. I've
always worked, but I've always kind of like also had like an opinion as far as like how like businesses like should be ran, how people should be treated, customers, everything. Every situation is going to be different. Not everything is going to be like the exact same, but for the most part, so long as the money is important, but more so making a difference is what's important. And making it, like I said, you're not going to make everybody happy. So I'm going to just say that you can't make everybody happy. It's unreasonable and it's impossible to think.
Yeah.
But for the most part, so long as you know for a fact that you're doing your absolute best, especially like with providing a service, it's that's what I wanted to do.
Right. How do you feel like you're changing your customers' lives by providing the services to them?
Well, honestly, reliability for the most part, being flexible, especially like if there's like a situation going on where it's like, I always like I don't choose colors. Like I don't choose colors for none of my projects. Like I may give suggestions and hints, but I don't choose colors. But what I will do is like if something like isn't right, I definitely want to try and make sure that my customer is happy. So I definitely will make sure so can we go a different color? Like what can I do to what can be done to make the situation a bit more better? So I feel like my reliability, is good, but then also at the same time, like the fact that I actually care about paint, I care about my craft, I care about how it actually comes out and is done.
How do you feel that your work goes into the community? How do you think that it's viewed in the community by I guess fans, man, people who are following your work, following your social media, people who actually have taken part of your craft? You've done work for them. They've put up reviews about you. How do you feel like you've made an impact on them overall?
Like I made a difference, especially for the simple fact that a lot of the times, a lot of situations is, typically wasn't really happy with the previous job that was done by somebody else, or it was probably the fact that, somebody came and got a deposit and never showed back up, or, whatever the case might have been, I just happen to be the different outcome for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And so because, being the different outcome for the most part, that's allowed me to be able to have a lot of returning customers, even medical facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Since I've been I'll be going to my 4th year of business, next month. And just this past year would have done just this past year, I did my second urgent care, and that wasn't nothing but the grace of God, and just with the simple fact that I honestly I wanted it, so yeah.
So tell me this, man, freedom speakers, people who are paying attention and listening, this episode is for you. This episode is for hustlers, entrepreneurs, people who got that grit, who got that dog in them, that's looking to step to the next level. Us as entrepreneurs, family men, businessmen, this is where we really talk gritty. We really talk for real and serious about the makeup of the man. For the women out there that are looking for that man that has a certain tenacity about him, a lot of internals, if you will. A lot of internals. He got a lot of drive. He got a lot of ambition. He got a lot of goals. He has a lot of knowledge, emotional sense. He likes to challenge himself in a healthy manner. Most of the time, us as men, like I stated to my wife earlier, most of the time, man, I'm the lazy lion until it's time for me to perform.
Right.
Until it's time for me to perform, I'm just in preparation to kind of get myself right. So when my number is called, I'm elite. I'm on my shit. So her kind of understanding that metaphor, so that's why you don't do stuff sometimes. I do a lot. But on the overall up and up, it's more like, hey man, I've been able to delegate certain power. I've been able to assist certain people, put things in certain positions that offer others to do it so that I can handle what's solely just for me.
Right.
All right. So people who out there who are looking to gain knowledge and want to level up and step into business, keep staying tuned to us, the content that we pushing forward, and all the different information that we're looking to bring. So one thing that I want to say is, thank you for coming to the show and sharing with the people your information, your livelihood.
I get it from you.
Well,
I mean, let's just be honest. This is my sensei. Not only this is one of my oldest friends. This is somebody who, I guess you can kind of say the relationship has gone from friends, talking about video games and silly stuff to now we're actually sitting down and talking about how to get money and make money.
Yeah, we have legitimate conversations that level you up.
Beneficial, iron sharpening iron. Yes, conversations.
Sir. We, as juveniles and kids, we would sit back and communicate about girls, what we wanted to do when we get older. Now we sit in that place and we got the things that we say. Now we had the conversations of how we maintain it. All right. Most of the time you got to give up something to get what you want. And us being entrepreneurs, knowing that's the nucleus of what we are and what we do. Not that any other title doesn't compare or has as much power, but hey, I can't be that great of a husband that provides if I don't have the means to overall provide for the tangible things or that are actually necessary. Of course, I can show you a lot of internals. I love you. I'm here. I'm respecting you, so on and so forth. But if I can't keep us warm, I gotta figure that out some kind of way. If I can't protect us, or get a certain level of respect at work or in the world or even with my family, I gotta be able to figure out how do I need to adjust. And most of the time, this information is things that are trial and error every day. Nobody has no manual to life per se, and people have written books and information to give guidelines. However, it has to be you who seeks. It has to be you. It has to be you. You cannot give up on yourself, especially when you get to see those that are around you and people who look to you, how much they actually look to you, how much they depend on your information, your knowledge, for you to be the one that takes the step first. That's a leader, being able to make the example and sacrifice themselves most of the time just so others can have a way. If you're not ready to sacrifice yourself, if you're not ready to get up every day and still go in and do something that you don't like to do, but has to be done, if you can't get up every day and be responsible, even when you don't feel like being responsible, don't step into a full-time relationship, because that's some everyday shit. Don't step into business, because that's some everyday shit. Don't step into being a parent, because that's some everyday shit. That ain't nothing that you get to take the days off, and you got to continuously push in and invest in that before you get any return. Okay? So if you're not ready to sacrifice your time, yourself, even sometimes your certain relationships to be able to take care of many instead of just a few, man, don't step into this realm of family, entrepreneurship, or business, because at the end of the day, it ain't going to be about you, my nigga. It's not. It's not going to be about you until you put your paintbrush down and get a chance to look at your work. Once you get the chance to see what you've built, then you can get a chance to take a break and people will get a chance to see what you've done. Remember, once you build it, then they'll come. Before the end, you just another nigga talking shit. So I ask you this, man. If you can give any information to any hustler, any entrepreneur that's looking to step into that next level, man, what information would you give them?
Well, first off, I'm actually working on a book right now. And pretty much the book that I'm actually working on is, I won't even hold you. Like it's not like it's a 1, 2, 3 to get a million. What I want to do is I want to get you out of your head so that you can actually get yourself into the position to actually be able to get to the point of being able to make the figures that you actually want to be able to make. This book is for the person who wants to be the entrepreneur but thinks that they're so imperfect and, so whatever that they can't do it. Well, if I can do it, you can do it.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here at Therapeutic Relations Healthcare Services, we provide essential services to essential people. We offer 24-hour residential care, transportation, adult day, and vocational training. We provide a safe and healthy environment that teaches daily living skills while offering activities that stimulate. Our passion goes far beyond the care of our clients. Our staff are highly trained professionals equipped to handle what comes their way. We like to think of ourselves as people-first employers. Accept the challenge and join our team now at Therapeutic Weekend.
Absolutely. So I've known this man for many years, and we both have had conversations with each other about the things that we finna do, that we bout to do. Until one day we didn't hit each other up and was like, hey, I ain't finna say finna no more. And then work began. Now where we sit today, and I'll be permission to speak freely?
Permission? Can I get the lighter over quick?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. Gotta spark that. Some days I sit and I have my moments of depression. And these moments of depression come through my level of survivor's remorse. Okay? And that's where I sit now of, It's not about the money, though I know I need to make that. I have minimums that I need to maintain to keep things flowing. It's not about the products. It's not about how much money I have to spend to keep things going. I've been in it long enough. I've been in it 10 seasons to know things gonna be up and down. What hits me and triggers my depression is when I look to hang out with people or I look to communicate with people. I'm viewed sometimes as this level of celebrity of they can't talk to me like a regular person,
Right.
or that we don't have the same woes of, you know, my kids or my job, or, you know, I had to fire somebody today. I had to wear that, you know what I'm saying? But just whatever my position is, or looking at it as being an entrepreneur, that we don't have problems. Money fixes everything. And that's further from the truth. So when my survivor's remorse kick in, which is a form of depression, I get to look at the people I love or is around me, and I get to see that their time isn't theirs. It is mandatory for them to be somewhere else every day doing something on behalf of them and their family. But at the same time, a lot of them do not feel fulfilled, or they feel like they're not even working for an entrepreneur that actually cares about them or has their best interest at hand. Knowing one of the big things that we push as entrepreneurs is taking away the negative narrative of employee versus employer, when we actually both really need each other. So if I give you a little bit of history from myself, man, and this is a segment that I want to bring forward, it's called From Sewer to Entrepreneur. All right. And this is where I give the gritty information about what it really was to start a business, the anxiety that came, the depression that came, the doubts, the naysayers, that I had to be delusional to a degree and not believe the world, because I had to believe myself. I had to believe whatever it was that I was looking to do was going to work, that I was going to push this shit forward, that whoever was going to be with me was going to motherfucking help me. And if you wasn't, get out of my way, because I'm trampling the fuck over you. And you have to have that mindset, man. You have to have it. You have to have it. All them other motivational speakers and people who telling you, man, they give you the, hey, but if you just don't give up and you work hard every day and stay consistent, you'll make it to the stars. Are they lying? No, they're not lying. But they're giving you the short, sweet version of what it is. Not, hey, you need to discipline yourself minute by minute, 30-minute increments, hour by hour, every day. Do not waste and burn any daylight. In order to get ahead of the next nigga, man, you got to be covering twice as much, 3 times as much ground. You have to. What most people are doing in 5 or 6, 8 hours, you need to be doing 8 hours worth of work and 3 hours, 4 hours just to get ahead. Just to get ahead, okay? You going to work, punching the clock for somebody else, coming home, kicking up your feet, drinking and smoking, to just doing the bare minimum that you contracted won't get you nowhere. It'll just get you by. You really want to be the boss? You really want to be an entrepreneur? You really want to be the man? Give up yourself. Be selfless. As we mentioned, where does the selfless person gain? Most selfless people don't gain until they have to demand their respect. Until they have to cut something or somebody off in order to reciprocate something. And normally it's never generous of, oh, you've been doing this, let me give it to you. No, the people who generally give they gotta have they got a breaking point too. So even as an entrepreneur, we have to give a fuck about people that we don't even know, and giving them an opportunity for them to come in here and possibly steal time, steal trash bags, materials and shit, be mad as fuck at you because you held them accountable, man. Do you know how many people quit their job when you hold them accountable?
A lot, pretty much damn near everybody.
Damn near fucking everybody. You tell them, hey, you can't do this, or this ain't how this go, and then they, oh, hoe ass nigga, you black owned business, big bitch, fuck you. You don't care about black people for real, hoe ass hoe, and your locks trash.
Right.
It's like, damn, because you keep being late with car trouble and keep getting dropped off by that whack ass nigga that we know be picking you up late. I don't never shit on the staff, but I be seeing the fucked up situations they in, okay? I see that you make bad decisions everywhere, not just at work. But I digress. So I say that to say, man, if you really looking to step into business and being hungry in that, you will have to transform entirely. Okay, you have to transform entirely, because what you are building or marking yourself up to be will have to be these skills will have to be transferable.
Can I ask something real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
So all right. So, permission to speak freely. All right. So, all right. So pretty much like the thing that with me about business is that I've come to actually figure out and learn and actually love running a business like more than like really anything I've ever done in my life. And it's only because like it's actually, I won't even hold you. It's actually improved like who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually improved who I am. Like it's sharpened me. And the reason I say it sharpened me is because, to speak free, like I've been diagnosed with ADD and ADHD probably. I don't know.
I'm probably on that spectrum too, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, a nigga that had an IEP before, like, so I'm there, like, you know, like I'm like, so that right there, like, let you know, like, and truth be told, like the machining job, probably, real talk, was probably like the longest job I ever had, like going on like 5 years. First time out, like 401, you know, benefits, you know, vacation off rip. Oh yeah, like I was a straight up nigga with the vacation shit. Like they was like, they're like starting off like you got a week. I blew that shit in like take 2 days off. My like man, like, but at a certain like it came to a certain point in time because I would go to the machine shop and I was still painting in the summertime, and I'm like, I blow through this. Like I blow through it. I don't get no callbacks. Like, why? Permission to speak freely. Why am I making this nigga money when I can be making my own damn self some money? Nigga, don't he sits at home. He has about maybe like 10 or 12 painters working for him, and he sits at home. I can actually paint. I'll actually paint and move around. Like, why can't I do this shit myself?
Yeah.
So, my wife gave me an idea. No, my wife actually gave me the name. My wife gave me the name while I was actually trying to figure out what I was trying to do. The name just happened to come out of her mouth. I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. So it started off like, and I'm gonna go back to my book again because like it even goes back to my book. I want to break it. I want to break it down. Like we've been on live for like a little bit now. So like y'all know how I can talk. I want my book is going to speak just like that. I want to break it down. I want to get you out of your head because this is coming from somebody who. Honestly, I didn't really start doing too good in school until I went to school for machining, learning trigonometry and stuff. I'm like, but that's only because, like you said, I was backed into a wall.
Yeah.
I had no choice but to learn. I was like, oh, okay, forget it. Adjacent angles. Okay, this is the formula. All right, forget it. This is blueprint reading. I got it. Got a job. I'm doing it.
So let me ask you this real quick while this question's on my mind. Sound like a cliche question, but do you feel like you need pressure or challenges to bring out the best in you?
Neither. I honestly, personally feel like I needed to just actually do something I actually gave a fuck about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, like, not to say like that, but it's just like, I paint. Like, and I'm good at it. Like, it's something that I was taught. Like, it's something that I've heard, like, through my, like, he took it upon, you know, I showed him how to paint. He just made it his own. Like, right. It's what I do. Machining is cool. That's me working for somebody else, making this guy some money, and he's sitting somewhere in Cape Cod, somewhere probably on a boat. You know, I'm like, $2.45 to $10.45. Oh, no, fuck that. No, $2.45 to $2.45. You know what I'm saying? Like 12 hours for real.
Yeah.
Like, for what? And then I'm still depressed. I'm gonna make a lot of references to like a lot of songs in my book too, but like. But pretty much like there was a point in time where like things was bad. Like I was catching the bus to go to work. I was barely really getting any sleep, and I'm in my head just like, this cannot like this can't be life.
This can't be life. This cannot only be life.
This can't be life for real. And I refuse to give up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I know for a fact that like if I actually just put my best foot forward, I can actually make something happen. I had to just get out of my head.
Did you feel like you lived there in your head? Was it safe for you in there?
No. Like when people use the word humble. Actually, no. Matter of fact, you was talking yesterday. You was like, nigga, they say be humble. Like, I can't be humble.
I don't know how to be that for real.
The word humble, like the word humble, like it does exist among people, but it doesn't exist among me. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in it only because of the simple fact that like, if I'm saying like I'm gonna be humble, then that means that I'm gonna just sit here and just settle for literally whatever I can pick up out of life.
It's almost like being humble is almost like putting a cap on yourself. It's almost like, hey, I don't want to make myself better. I don't want to make
myself accountable for really anything or try to. That's the whole and that's the and like just like we can just skip all over it. It's it's literally actually just being able to roll a dice on yourself.
Yeah.
You get that. Everybody like, the hell with this. I could be shoveling snow and and have a company and running in 3 different states.
Yeah.
But wait, that's a business idea too. Hey, I'm just saying, like, my when you business for me has given me something to actually focus on. Yeah, you sit down and you tell me like a hobby of yours, I'm gonna sit here and tell you how to make a business out of it. So real quick, I'm gonna just go ahead and give out some free game.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Please tap into me on IG. That's the primary platform. Permission, the number 2, _ Speak Freely Podcast. That's permission, the number 2, _ Speak Freely Podcast.
Absolutely, straight up. And you can follow me as well, Laylo the Most, at LAYLOE.THAMOS. And definitely follow us, man. Engage with us, ask us questions. Get engaged, man. Freedom Speakers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we protect y'all as well. Permission to speak.
Get the listeners, get the Freedom Speakers
some game. So just a free game. You can easily just sit here and just say, well, you like doing nails. Well, the one thing, everybody like doing nails and everybody like getting paid for doing nails. But maybe like you give like a little like after hours special where you allow chilled wine to be sipped on. Nice little drink. Your day to be talked out. A little.
Let me make some notes for myself.
A little bit of decompression while you're actually paying to be taken care of.
Yeah, some self-care, some pampering, and then you get a little buzz with some wine.
Either that or shit. You can make the best cheeseburger there is, and just cut it up into just different shapes. I guarantee you. Yep. I guarantee you that if you sit here and say that, hey, my cheeseburgers are the greatest. I cut them up in what makes me different. I cut them up into different shapes, whatever your favorite shape is. Oh, I want the extra large triangle burger, an extra large star burger. And I guarantee I buy that shit probably because it's shaped like a star.
Yeah. I like that, man. So
I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you, man. So, Freedom Speakers, if you got any questions or concerns about entrepreneurship, please tap into the comments now. One of the things that I like to say, especially starting out as an entrepreneur, and as you mentioned, man, I got a memory on Facebook the other day, actually yesterday, and it was a post about me riding my bike to work. I had no car at this time, man. I drove my bike 5.2 miles to work, and I didn't even I didn't have any money to get my car fixed. The couple last dollars that I had, wifey and I went to the Goodwill and bought a bike. I put air in it at the gas station. I put some WD-40 on the chain. But I was like, hey man, I'm a man. I gotta figure this out. I gotta still go to work. I'm thankful to have a job. But I rode the bike to work, and it was, as I got to read that message, it was like a humbling experience of, look how humble I was there, meaning my esteem was low. I didn't have much. I didn't account for much of anything, and I was kind of living up to what people thought I would be, just like an average Joe. But when I got a chance to get on that bike, go to work, and then even for the next few weeks, man, I just walked to work. I ride the bike, but that windshield was fucking me up because it was October, November. It was around this time I was riding the bike. But I read that message and it was like, wow, man, it came a long way.
I had the same experience too.
For like a very long way of, man, I didn't have no car, and today I got a fleet of vehicles. I have, my own person. Like I only have one car. I'm not the businessman that has a whole fleet of personal vehicles. I have a fleet of vehicles that aren't for me, but they're mine because I got to pay for them. All right. But they're for the staff. They're one of the tools for staff to be able to get the job done quickly and adequately with the proper things that they need. Doesn't cost them anything to fix these vans, yet they be breaking my shit and stealing my shit. You really want to be an entrepreneur? You want to get a phone call one day and your shit missing? You go walk up in your office and you ain't no office in that bitch? Things that came in there and stole computers and goddamn the fucking easels. They just stealing shit. They get high off of a person that they feel like, hey, he got it. He got it. That nigga got it. How true or not true that may motherfucker be, I ain't the lick. Okay? So I say that to people. I wanted this episode to most definitely be for the entrepreneur. Like, do you really want to be an entrepreneur? Do you really want to step into that realm? Not to deter you, but like to prepare you. Okay? To prepare you of how serious it really can get. How much of a transformation of a person that you have to undergo, man. The world don't owe you shit. The world will not bend for you. And God ain't gonna just pick you up one day and place you right in the location that you want to be. That is not how God works. And I know firsthand, I got the nigga on speed dial. Alright? So, how God works is, and this is from my version, I thought God was gonna, when I was homeless in my Crown Vic, that's why that's my favorite car, because I used to live in that bitch too. That was my apartment. That was my Maybach. You push them seats up, you was real comfortable. It was like a twin size bed in that back seat of that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. However, when I was homeless living in my Crown Vic, due to my own issues, my own shit, I didn't want to go back to where I was, and I needed that level up. Right. But I'm reading my Bible, and I'm waiting for something to happen. And it was like I came up with this quote like, hey man, most people demons show up around 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is still 3 a.m. Okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm reading the Bible, and I can't remember what passage I was on, but I just kept reading it slowly. Just kept reading it slowly, like, I'm waiting for somebody to save me when I really could be saving myself. I really could be saving myself. I'm waiting on God. God, where you at, God? Hurry up. But I'm at that place, and I had to keep just sitting there like, just an awakening moment. Like, I am completely fucking still, waiting to be saved, wasting fucking talents and abilities that I know that I goddamn have, or I'm aware of what I can do when I'm put in the jam.
Exactly.
I'm aware of what I can do.
Yeah.
That being said, it was just the pressure I felt in my stomach at that time, or that pit I felt in my stomach, felt a little bit released. And it was like, I need to start making moves. So this is how God started to work for me. I thought God was going to just pick me up and the world was going to move around me. And that wasn't the case. I had to get to moving, and then God just moved the world around me. Once I got to moving, the world was dipping and dodging. He was moving shit out of my motherfucking way that I didn't need because I had a goal, now I had a purpose. He was blocking shit.
Trying to catch up to you.
Yeah, but I believe in signs, and I say that, man. I believe messages are sent through me, through videos, through people, through music. You know what I'm saying? I believe that. So, when I'm listening to certain music at this time, or I'm just kind of putting myself in this space that I need more, I need to have more, I deserve more. Every time I challenge myself to do something, that pit in my stomach just got a little bit lighter, and confidence built. That it was like, hey, as tough as I thought these people were, or as hard as I thought that these challenges will be, this really not as difficult. I had to just challenge myself. I had to get up and move. Nobody could give me anything. Nobody owed me nothing. So even in that realm of me sitting there feeling like nobody owed me nothing, I had to get up here and get out there and get it. Keep in mind, I had great mentors and teachers that gave me information along the way. Nobody gave me $1. And I want to say that loud and clear. Nobody gave me any money. They gave me information. Just as I give information. If you don't use the information, what do I lose? You didn't pay for it from me. So if I give you the game or give you information, or I tell you that, hey, the Ben Boston Business Academy is free. I don't charge people to have a conversation with them and be able to help inspire, motivate, or put them on the right track, or even send them an email, a link. Hey, this is how you start. This is what you need to do. Read this information just like I did. I can guide you, but I won't do it for you because, hey, I know the benefit of doing it yourself and how much you will learn reading it up or experiencing it, and not just me picking you up, putting you right here. God didn't do that for me, and I ain't God. I'm just God-like. So I can't do that for you. All I can do is give you the opportunity. So, me picking myself up by my bootstraps, as they call it, I gained a level of confidence. I gained a level of accountability. I gained a level of problem solving. I gained a level of understanding, comprehension of things. I've learned to speak more clearly and direct about what it is that I want with no wiggle room. I got a chance to speak on behalf of others or advocate for them who didn't per se have a gift that I have of being able to speak or being able to recognize things. But once I got up and I challenged myself, and I'm a competitive person, man. I'm a competitive person. Sports made me competitive, and business made me competitive.
Believe it or not, I'm really not though. But go ahead though.
Yeah, business made me competitive. It made me competitive of like, hey, for us to eat, I gotta kill you.
Right.
I'll mourn you.
Right.
But I'll be full, and my family be okay. But that's the competitiveness in it. Like, hey, it'd rather be you than me, and that's how business is set up because it don't matter what industry you in, people. Okay, freedom speakers. It don't matter what industry you in. You doing hair, you doing nails, you painting, you cleaning, you do anything. Repairing cars, houses, boats, trucks, selling pussy. Somebody know you in business, you get underbid. You'll get underbid. You'll be like, so they charging 40 for pussy? All right, you give me 40, I put my feet and hands in there, and you can shoot it on my titties. Nigga, get creative. Like for $38.75.
Cause I crawl like a monkey on your back.
You be like, I come on there dressed in the costume, whatever you want, cosplay. I'll call you what you want. Would you want to be Leroy today? Would you want me to call you officer? What the fuck you want? Pastor, what you want? Who you want to be today? But business is competitive like that. You cutting grass, it's like, oh man, yeah, I cut the grass, I trim, I come do the weeds, man, and I come and break the leaves, and I do the snow. It's like for the same price. But his business is competitive. Us in healthcare, You wouldn't even think that it's like, how much more can I clean? How much more can I care? But it's still competitive of, hey, you know what? We'll discount all hand sanitizers, gloves, outfits. We'll give staff bonuses, raises for some shit sometimes they ain't even necessary. But it's like, it get competitive, or they'll steal your client.
Right.
They'll steal your client. They'll be like, hey man, you don't need no big company, right? I could do it for you, right? Like, yeah, I like you. And then next thing you know, you getting a letter of, hey, they don't want to fuck with you no more. This nigga you fired? Yeah, he took them with them. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Like, so you gotta protect yourself. A do not compete clause, or it's so many different things in business that is almost law. And I say this freely as a business owner, learning this power and position that I'm in. I can understand why the government or white people, some white people, not all, but some white people in power, in history proves this, okay? These are facts that you can check. This isn't just me being negative towards a race or anything, but just meaning the position of power. I understand why they never wanted people of color to own anything. Because now you have the power to give opportunity. You have control. And property was never supposed to have control. You was never supposed to have control. You was never supposed to say anything. Now that you make the rules and they got to listen to you, the tables have turned. My nigga. But I've learned that of having to stand up and have to have these conversations in business with people that feel like I'm not supposed to be here. Right. Shut up, nigger boy. You're not that well off. Fuck you, I'll buy you out. And it's like, I'm sorry your dick ain't as big as mine, white man, and I'm sorry that your white wife keep gawking at me because you ain't got the tenacity, the skill, or the hip, or the color to satisfy this woman, and nor do you respect her in any kind of way. I know that you gotta only handle one woman because you a bitch ass nigga, and you can't handle a flock of hoes, hoe ass nigga, because you ain't got it. You invented monogamy because you only can handle one woman at a time. You only got enough money for it. You ain't got enough dick, attitude, power, tenacity. You only run the business world. You don't even run your household.
All right.
Hoe ass nigga. But I digress. But I've learned that of like, hey man, business saved my life.
I agree.
It saved my life. It saved my life of challenging me how to protect myself, have a value for myself, care about myself way, way more than I cared about other people. If I can push all this into other people, I had to learn to give it to myself. I had to practice what you preach, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? I had to practice what I preach, show myself love, put myself in a position to be able to help me so that I can turn around and help people. If I'm only helping one person get but so far, and I'm actually taking steps back on myself, that is not reciprocation, and that is not progression. Well, that is not progression. So if I can go save myself and come back and save multiple people, which is the position we're in now, after started moving and making some traction just in the world, and I never stopped, but challenges kept on going, kept on coming, bumps and bruises. But I say this respectfully, with grace. I go out here and I fight the world every day. Most black men go out here and fight the world every day. And you looking at two black men that go out here and fight the world every day, and we winning. We winning, my nigga. Okay? You don't think you gonna have a target on you when you winning? You don't think Jordan had a target on that nigga when he was winning? That niggas built shit together to try to take down this nigga? You don't think when LeBron is winning that they built shit to be able to take down LeBron? You don't think it's a target at the... Basquiat said every king dies with their head cut off. Mm-hmm. And I believe that. Because as long as you up top, as long as you at the missionary position, there's gonna be somebody gonna give you some, let you get them some back shots. Just know that. But as long as you at the top, peak of your game, you gonna almost have anything you want. You're gonna have a certain level of fame, a certain level of attention on you, and you're gonna always have a certain level of hater. You're gonna always have just as powerful damn near hater as just as you that can turn the tides on you if you fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
If you do any bullshit, if you
and they watch it, and that's the thing though, and that's the thing though, is that like business for me is like, I kind of feel like it's made me a calmer, more sharper person, but it's also gave me something to focus on. Like I've never really been able to like to focus on like certain stuff. But business, like the reason why I focus on it is because I'm like, what I'm building right now, the word try ain't even in the vocabulary. The word can't ain't even in the book. My kids be like at the dinner table with the homework, like, I can't do this. Oh, I don't care if I just got off work, paint on my arms, paint on my head. I'd be like, nigga, what? You can't. Like, we don't say that around here. Like, you actually just go ahead and just figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just figure it out. But what that has done, like, it has pretty much like business has broken me down as a person and then has allowed me to rebuild myself into something just a bit more different. So now
every time. So
each I play this each and every single year.
Okay, I was gonna ask, man, because we sometimes, well, not sometimes, we most definitely had conversations of realignment with each other. This is where I'm at. I'm at this emotional place. I'm feeling a low. Every time we've stated that, we've always had a recurring conversation. It's like, hey, I got through this. This is this. But the question I want to ask is, with each low that you have, because remember, it's a different low. It used to be down here.
Now this expensive pain. Expensive pain, my nigga. It's all expensive.
Yeah, so as you climbing,
right,
your low is a little less lower than from rock bottom, but you know rock bottom is very fucking close. High ain't as high as you think. One swoop can take you out.
Right.
So I ask you, man, with each new low that you find, it comes with a progression, but what part of you feel like is broken that you repair to kind of level up, and do you take that with you to the next level?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Permission to Speak Freely, broadcasting from Cleveland, Ohio, 216, home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Guardians. Go Tribe!
That's actually, I ain't gonna hold you. That's actually a deep question. I don't think
I want to know, not fucking quiet minds.
No, I know, but like, I ain't gonna hold you like that. That's like, I've never really thought like that. That's like a question. Like, I kind of like, I low key kind of felt like you like reached into like and like just like try to pull some shit out. Like that was kind of fucking deep. I kind of feel like, now that I really think about it, like I really feel like it, for what it is done broke my mental. And truth be told, like, it's done broke my heart.
Yeah.
Like, it's done, like, it's really broke my heart. When I quit my job, like, real talk, like, how, like, invested I was in myself, I was actually supposed to be at work this day. And me and my one buddy, we were, like, deep out in Illyria. I mean, like, you got to pay toll, like pay toll booths, and we just like, nigga, you still drive. Like, you at the part on an expressway, you can do 70, like, so like we just going. And I get out there, I get out there, and you know, we're doing like a walkthrough of these apartments. You know, the guy had like 30 units that he wanted done in like 2 months or whatever, and I feel like business is breaking me. Like, I feel like you just broke me again. But anyway,
breakthrough.
No.
Breakthrough.
But yeah. No. Seriously, like, more like just for that brief moment, it was actually just like it actually kind of felt like I went down like a roller coaster. But then I actually just got my shit back together like real quick. So I'm just like, nigga, you've been doing this. Like, you know what you're talking about. So, I go out there and we're walking around, and the deal is not the greatest deal. it's just a lot of apartments that actually, like, if the mindset was correct, if the mindset was correct, the work ethic was there, and the right paint product was there, and the right amount of time was there, it could actually be done. Me and my buddy, like, we literally, the guy let, like, it felt like a talk show. Like, the guy was like, I'll give you all a minute, like, just think about it. And I'm like, yeah, like, give us a minute. I'm like, I done drove out here. I'm like, I'll give you an answer now. I mean, I give you an answer in like next few minutes. We talking about it, numbers, whoop whoop. Came to an agreement. He said, all right, when can y'all start? Now. Man, I called Marco's Pizza, which was like right on the block. Like that was probably like the last, like not the last, not that irresponsible. It wasn't the last bit of money that I had, but for the most part, like, you know, until I got paid, like the next day, like I had gas in the car, food was at home, like shit was cool. I got us pizza. I'm like, let's rock out. And from then on, like, I got fucked with out there. Materials got misplaced. You know, cabinets got scratched up. You know, this, that, and that third. Like, you know, but I still kept going. Like, and truth be told, like, just knowing my character, just from like how I was, like before, like when I was younger, that wouldn't have been me, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't have been me. Like, bruh, like there was one point in time where like I was just super comfortable with just playing video games. I was just super comfortable with it, and then just flowing with life. Then I had a kid come in the world. Still was just on that. And that nigga had more kids, you know, like, They got married, you know what I'm saying? They got married again. Like, the more decisions that I made, it was like something gotta add up somewhere. And it ain't with this machine shop shit. I get that it's working for the moment, but it ain't working for me in the long run. So, like, when I say, like, you kind of broke me down right there, and then I kind of get myself back up, it's for the most part, like, I kind of, like, that question kind of had me, like, I kind of had to really remind myself of who the fuck I really was. I kind of snuck in there and said that, like, I wasn't competitive, but now I had to really, really think about it.
It's in there.
Yeah, like, I really, really had, like, that's that bullshit, being humble shit. Like, I can't really do that. Like, I've had to challenge myself just throughout the years of just making mistakes financially, hiring and having the wrong people on, and not doing enough myself, thinking I'm a boss, you know. Now, mind you, boss has multiple meanings. Like, and I'll be honest, like, my personal opinion, being a boss, like, you could be employed somewhere. Like, if you running the shit, then yes, you're a boss. But if you're also running your own business, and the thing is control. If you're controlling your own hours, you are a fucking boss.
Yeah.
Like, you're controlling your out. Like, while I'm painting, I am walking around the apartment. Chapter 2. Okay. Think about it. Chapter. I'm on my own time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on my own time. Like, I'm so honed in. But I'm honed in because of some of the fact that, like, I want my kids to understand you can do whatever it is you want.
Yeah.
All my children get, like, so my dad used to be able to, my dad can still probably draw. But my kid, I used to be able to draw too. All my kids can draw. Like, from my oldest daughter down to my third youngest. Like, they all can draw. The newborn can't draw, of course. But, like, they all can draw. And I'm just saying, like, my daughter's like, she wants to be a Disney animator. I'm like, okay, let's go, Marsalis. Putting in the budget to go ahead and get her the art book with the charcoal pencils or whatever, like, because they're doing it.
Make the way.
But also at the same time, because I've been so tapped in with myself over the last, like, 4 years or more than that, I'm able to recognize in them certain signs. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like you could definitely do this shit yourself, like on your own. Like my kids, like they just have that mindset, and that's what I want to do. Like I want to hone in on that. Focus on school, yeah, that's important. But understand, once that shit's done, you could do whatever the fuck you want, and it's only because I'm trying to set you all up to be able to do what you all want to be able to do.
Yeah, and demonstrate that it can be seen.
It can be seen. It can be felt. No. Better word, it can be dealt with. You can endure it.
Yeah.
You can endure it because your father has. Like I have. Like I have grown so much just from doing it. Honestly, I can say all I really think about is business. Like 24, like it's 20, like it's a full-time job that I actually love.
Yeah. Hold on, repeat that one more time for the listeners, for the speakers. Hear this man loud and clear, and say it slow for him.
It's a 24-hour job that I actually love and that I actually enjoy doing 24/7. But it's actually something that I enjoy challenging myself with. I personally feel like when you start a business, like you start off, okay, like Fab said, you know, on leveling up, like, you know, once you start from the bottom, like there's nothing but going up. Like, and that's what I've always seen from myself, like over the past couple of years. Like I've never really like dug back too much. I've always just tried to figure out like what I had to do to really just try to just stay ahead or get ahead.
Yeah.
Whether it be going downtown every single day, just filing paperwork to get a certification, just like I'm be, you know, qualified for, you know, to have a minority certification. Free gas, have a business and you're a minority, you know, go downtown and, you know, get registered as a minority business, because a lot of these places, what they won't tell you, well, like what I learned in the factory is that like you pretty much like you have to employ like a certain amount of minorities in order to be able to get like a certain like tax write-off or something like that at the end of the year.
We giving game.
So if they're doing that to you, then why not do that to them and actually benefit from it on your own time? All you have to do is just really understand what it really, the opportunities that it gives you. But not only that, just like going to school every day and getting up every day, you gotta stay dedicated, 10 toes down. You have to be able to, you have to actually want it. But the thing is that while you can want it for yourself, you have to be able to want it for other people.
Yeah.
Like you I'm gonna say it again. You have to be able to want it for other people. Like I personally believe that each and every person has like I personally believe that everybody has an amazing quality about them. I believe somebody has an amazing quality, skill. I believe everybody has something about them that if they actually just sat down and just was like, I put this in my book, but there are a couple of questions that you ask yourself. Why do you want a better life? Why do you want better for, you know, why is it, you know, what makes you qualified to break the generational curse of let's just spend or retire with nothing? What makes you qualified?
Die with nothing.
Die with nothing. What qualifies you to break that cycle?
I feel like almost you just broke me, Paul. But this is the reason we have these conversations, and a lot of times they're private. Freedom speakers, a lot of times these conversations that we have are private. And we call normally these conversations of fate, because we're here discussing the fate of the people who are under our power, who are the talent that deals with us, and they're blindly building their futures on us. And if we slip because of the irresponsibilities of ourselves, that clearly means we don't care about anybody who falls under our protection. Okay, so I lead into that of which you stated of what makes you qualified. And that's a question that I recently asked myself within like this week of understanding with the telepathy we was talking about. But I asked myself what made me qualified to lead. And I am huge on leadership. I am a leader. I'm not the only leader, but I am the leader of leaders. Okay? Other leaders look to me, and I still look to them for counsel, because I don't fucking know it all, but I surround myself with very, very highly keen, sharp individuals. Okay? I am a great ally to them, and they are a great ally to me, and we both combine together for protection and survival for everything that we touch. Real leadership shit. We also take care of the people that are a part of the team. So just a small little flex, because I feel like flexing. I normally don't throw anything out that I do as business or money and stuff like that, because if you know me, that shit really brings me depression. Most people only really fuck with me because of what they see I have or I can do, or the power, control, or influence that I have. And I can see through that. Business has taught me to be able to see and feel and have that gut feeling of if this is going to be a healthy transaction or not. The HR position in business really made me feel like that. But one of the things I want to just say as a leader, for all of the team that works with us, we as a business pay 50% of their supplemental health insurance for them. That's life insurance, that's vision, that's dental, that's accident, that's what else is under there? However, I got a great agent who assists with all of that. And as a business, we pay 50%. Oh, and short-term disability, we pay 50% of that. Okay? 50% of my employees, my talent, I pay 50% of their health care. I don't have machines. We don't have machines. We have people, have to take care of them. Not only do we have competitive rates, man, we have IRAs, we got retirement. The company will co-sign. If you contract in, this is business. This is why they don't want you to have control. They don't want you to have opportunity. For the people who work with us, we as a business can and have co-sign for people's mortgages, for them to be able to say, hey, we can guarantee this person in a place of employment for X amount of time to guarantee that they will not default on their loan. How many business niggas is giving they niggas leverage? Not just giving you a pay rate. Because even as a businessman, I teach the talent that come in there. You want more money right now? I teach you how to clean up your credit and the bank give you more money. Because you want to ask me for $1 or $2, which is more than worthy of for some that are putting in the work. But if you want instant money now, let me show you how to get your credit right. I am not a credit person who helps clean and all of that's not what I do. But I'm a healthy person in business that, hey, nigga, I'm going to flex a little bit tonight. I've been living off credit for years. I've been living off of credit. My credit lines outweigh my salary, but I can teach people what I've done through my own trials and tribulations of what I've done. Hey, this is where I started. That's the real grit of more than just staying dedicated to your craft and learning. It's like, nigga, how do I leverage the game? Mm-hmm. How? I'm already dedicated, motherfucker. I'm getting up every day. Where the money at? Where the dollars at? How do I get them? Where are they? But that's the financial literacy. So me learning in business of, hey, the team, we pay 50% of their supplemental health care insurance, which elevates them to be able to obtain more because they may only have the budget to get X amount of dollars. But now we pay 50%. It doubles and maybe even quadruple for some of a coverage for them. They need more. They want more money. I teach them how to go where I go, to the bank. This is where I go, man. Hey, this is what I have to say or do. But this is how I make myself attractive. That, keep in mind, their job, the bank's job, is to give money away. They make money by giving you money. But you can't go in there with no hope and dream. Mm-hmm. You can't go in there like, hey, if I need 150 bands, I'm gonna get my mama a job. I'm gonna paint in here. I'm gonna do this. It's like, bitch, how we gonna make our money back? What do you have now of collateral for us to even give you anything? So with me learning that, I went to the bank. I didn't know nothing about credit, but I had dumb stuff on my credit that I had to pay. And I had to make myself look attractive to the bank like I didn't need them. Like a stuck-up ass bitch. Like I didn't need the motherfucker, but I really want you. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can't really do without you, but I gotta act like, hard to get. But if you're gonna give me something, I'm gonna get it, but I really don't need it. But thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that, make myself attractive, that their job is to give you the money. And if you learn and understand the bank, they still have a quota they need to meet as well. They need to open up so many new accounts. They need to get so many new credit cards. So many denials, so many acceptance. Their job is on the line as well if they can't get you approved. So it's normally not a no, it's a not right now. Right. Hey, clean this up, or you're going to get a letter in the mail of what you need to possibly clean, or hey, look on Credit Karma, or you know you can get a free credit report, but they're just giving you game on leverage of yourself that you may not even fucking know. Mm-hmm. You may not even know. But this is my story this is my story. But this is my story of telling you like what happened to me, what I've done. I was able to clean up my credit just for habits that we all tend to have, man. Blacks ain't broke. We just got poor financial literacy. We'd rather be flies fucking the backyard looking with $1,000 worth of clothes on instead of paying off that $1,100 worth of debt, and then you can go to the bank and get a secure credit card. That's what I did. The first thing, $300, got a secure credit card. Use that. Then as I continue to build credit, I went in there and just asked one day, like, I'm in the bind, Nate. Some other time. But what do I qualify for?
Because you give.
What do I qualify for? Like I went in there and asked, hey, I'm trying to do some things. What do I qualify for? Keep in mind, I'm breaking through layers tonight. I was operating as a businessman like a hood dope boy, like the neighborhood and area that I grew up in, very inner city, that I was running the business, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. I wasn't saving capital. I didn't have lines of credit. I didn't have any of those. I just felt cash was king. And I didn't go to school for business, man. I didn't go to school for none of this. However, I survived 10 seasons in this shit. And that's to be said. That's to be said. People buying houses off of us, cars off of us, extending their own livelihoods and business. And we help fund that. We help see that. We help mentor that. I don't have to change the world in its entirety, but I change one person world at a time. I'm Jesus. I'm demonstrating my abilities. You wouldn't know Jesus was Jesus if he wasn't demonstrating abilities. He walked amongst the people, right? So I walk amongst the people, but sometimes I'll flex on a bitch ass nigga and be like, I'll get your whole teeth fixed, nigga. I put her on the dental plan, and she be smiling at me. Really use that grill for me, really, bitch. But I digress. But I'm talking shit. I'm having a good time tonight. But I've had to learn that, man, and to come with a certain level of power that you can change people's lives instantly. Okay, I remember. Shout out to my Uncle Dale, and shout out to Lil Dave, David Jefferson. I was having a conversation with them some years ago, man, and just when I had an IRS and we're gonna talk about that. Had an IRS woe, man. Taxes, that comes a part of being an entrepreneur. That's another payroll cycle you gotta pay for. Basically, just look at it as paying the mob to stay the fuck open. Okay, pay your fam. But we was sitting there rapping and talking, and they gave this reminder to me of, hey man, nigga, I could change a bitch phone number, change the bitch curtains, the living room set in the whole house. He like, but nigga, you could change this bitch whole area code. You could really check this bitch somewhere else. He like, but I say that to watch yourself, because you could be a lick. You could be a lick to these bras. You could be a lick to any motherfucking body. I'm like, damn, you right, man. Let me slow the fuck down. You right. Let me get my shit right. All right. Who licking dope? Like but just a conversation and realignment of like, hey man, we know who you are personality wise and the gifts wise and what you do. And we know that your personality hasn't changed by obtaining tangible things or material things. My job is to give it away. Keep in mind, as an entrepreneur, my job is to give the money away. I got enough money for me and y'all. But you got to be qualified. You got to be hired the right attitude. We can train you for whatever. That's normally any position.
They got to trust you.
They
got to trust the vision.
That's
the thing. Like, sorry, like,
are you good?
Yeah, they got to trust the vision. I mean, and that's it. Like, a visionary is everything. A visionary is a person that think about it from the beginning to the end. Like, they know what the exit plan is. Like, running a business is like looking for thrills. The greatest heist of like your life right now, because you're trying to figure out each and every single move while trying to duck and dodge like certain shit while trying to keep your mental together. Whew. Like, it's so many things that can happen. Like, it's so many things. Like, there are no paid vacation days on, running a business. There are no days off for a death. Like, I remember like I had a job going on. I had a job going on as it was a party center, and my grandfather had just died. Now this man, I mean, like, a lot of grandkids, a lot of great grandkids, children. Like, he gave a fuck about everybody. To the point where he would buy properties, let family come stay in and out, rent paid, no rent paid, whatever, It's life.
Such is life.
But those were his words, like, it's life. Like, that, like at the end of the day, anything that you do, whether you punch a clock or punch a clock for yourself, it's life.
It's life.
It's the most straight line that there is, like, period. It's life. It's either gonna go left or right. I'll tell you right now, like, I remember talking to, what was it, a counselor or a therapist? I can't remember who. They were just like, and I was younger, like, they were trying to figure out the ADD thing. And they were just like, yeah, Marcel's like, he just seems like he'd be a lot more better just like running his own, like doing his own thing, like doing his own business, like just focus on one thing. And the thing is that, like, growing up, most of my friends will attest to this. Like, I've always worked. Like, my dad instilled in us that, like, we just had to work. So, like, I've always had a job, cut grass, shovel snow, be around a block on Cedar and Warrensville at Marks, helping people with groceries and stuff. Like, I always worked. I had a knack for money. It's the perfect gift. Like, you know how to make money.
Yeah. I said that too with KJ, because KJ, my oldest son, he's inquiring about business. He, first off, people, don't tell your kids much about you because they can Google you. All right. KJ Googled us, looking up our websites. He's looking up how much money we made. Like, he's looking up all this stuff that's online. I'm like, you don't need no fucking phone, man. Look up if the earth flat. Look up that debate.
Right.
But he's asking like how to make money, and I teach him, but I tell him just from my experience of, hey man, you don't get no money yet. You work for free, okay? You work for free, man. So entrepreneurs, hustlers, anybody that's alike, that's looking to gain and put themselves in that position where they are leading, they have a team. At the beginning, you will potentially work alone. You will not have much. You will not make much. Whatever you potentially will make, it goes right back into either the cost of your own living, which in some place will have to be cut it have to potentially be cut if whatever your side hustles are, if they're not bringing in enough. You're gonna have to cut some hours some here, or if they bringing in enough and you need more, you're gonna have to cut some hours somewhere. You're gonna have to feed one of them. So
can't slave for two masters.
Not at all. You cannot. So at least you know you a slave.
You don't know for sure. Hey,
At least you know you a slave. And if you own anything, are you even a slave?
Hey, for real. Hey, sis said the best. I forever be a field nigga.
Yeah. Hey.
Salvation. Hey, I'll forever be a for real. I will
Still nigga.
Regardless or not, just like with life, straight line, you still nigga. It don't matter.
Don't matter.
It don't matter if you roll the dice on yourself or just say, I'm gonna go ahead and go punch this clock real quick. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the outcome, because at the end of the day, it just matters. What matters is how much do you care?
How much do you care? So I believe that, man. So I'll say this, man. For anybody that you hear say fuck a job, don't do business with them. Okay? If you hear them say fuck a job, don't do business with them. If you have people, if their job is to hire, or me as an entrepreneur, you as an entrepreneur, you hear us saying fuck a job, get money, you broke, bitch, and our life looks easy and their life looks hard, how well are you leading? What demonstrations are you giving? What examples are you setting? If you're speaking of a life of ease, and then the people around you are hungry, they're only as loyal to you as often as the check clears. Okay? And if they do care, if you have convinced them and you have put into their mind that you at therapeutic weekend, we care about your living. No, I'm just talking shit, but hey, I've been indoctrinated into people's mind that their leader that walks amongst them, who takes care of things for them, actually cared about them before they got here. We sometimes had to break through that negative barrier of they probably were a decent or great employee somewhere else, but weren't treated right, had poor management, poor leadership. Most people don't leave the company because they don't like the owner. Most of the time they leave the company because they don't get along with the manager. Right. So keep in mind, just one step up, it becomes disruption between inside of the machine. Every part needs to know it's important, and it works from the ground up. When I go in and I speak to our talent that comes in, and I embrace them, and I'm very transparent with them, and I'm a person still. I'm not walking around there with a stick in my ass. I'm joking. I'm still a human being, and I try to desensitize them of like, hey man, don't look at me as this great awe. I'm like, even though I am. Please, I walk amongst you. Don't hold me in some hierarchy. Like, don't. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hey, even for like personal, like self-improvement wise, I'll be honest, I worked at a lot of jobs, and like the machine job that I had, like that's probably like the job that I ran into like the most racist stuff that's like sick to my stomach even to this day. And I'm just sitting here just like, what the fuck am I dealing with this? I could be painting some walls right now. I could be rolling out some. Oh, I forgot I was just rolling out some walls. But at the same time, the mindset, instead of being so hooked on like, oh man, like, oh, this happened. All I can honestly tell you is that something happened. I'm so far along with like what I'm doing right now. All I can just say is I just ran into some racist shit back when I was at the machine shop. Like, it doesn't even bother me now, because guess what? I'm pretty sure like my business has made like way more money than he has made in 1 year, and I guarantee that. And I'll just flex real quick. I'll just say that real quick, like, for sure. But for the most part, it's like, it isn't not because like I'm looking at like, oh, I want to challenge the world. No, I want the world to know that it's actually possible.
It's possible, man. Yeah.
Like, you could own your own lathe and mill in your own garage and actually have contracts with different companies and just run it. And then move from your garage and then move to another facility when you start making the money to do it. Anything and everything. It's all possible.
You gotta start somewhere, man.
You like you have to. And that's the important part, is that at least you start. And truth be told, I'm gonna keep referring to my book. It starts with like developing the name. The idea. It all starts with the idea. You have an idea in your head. I like doing this. I like building this. Like I'm worked this overtime, bought this machine for this. Or I could spend this money and invest in this. All I gotta do is just give a couple more extra hours outside of my regular day just to be able to commit just to do this. Just a little bit more. But the thing is that once you start building on that just a little bit more, then you start seeing a bit more. But then you start seeing a bit more. But then, like you said, eventually you get to the point where, like, between family, regular work, and then what people consider to be your hobby, you making bread with your hobby.
Yeah.
Now it's time to cut some. Now it's time to trim the fat. Where's the fat at? Oh, the fat. Full-time job.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go down to part-time. I'm gonna go down to PRN.
I don't know. Fuck that. So going back real quick to, like, when I was out there in Lyria, talked to my guy, and we just, like, made the move. I'm like, we starting tonight. My job called my job called literally, like, maybe like 3, 4. It probably maybe called like about lunchtime, so maybe about like 6:45. It was like, Marsalis, so like I said, I blew my vacation days, right? Because I was already painting and just being like, I had full, like, I had, while I was looking full time and doing, like, while I was looking full time, I had full houses to paint, like, and I'm bringing guys in, and I'm doing, I'm painting this, that, I'm bouncing off I'm bouncing. So while I'm being an employee, I'm being a boss at the very same time. And
it never stops being that.
It got to the point where, like, I was going to work on Friday and I was sitting back. I already had the machine set up. I just sit back and, oh shit, I just got paid from this apartment. Just got paid yesterday from here too. Yeah.
Addicting. That is where the addiction comes in for most people. At least for me.
Facts, yeah.
The addiction came into play once, like I said, transactions clear. Once you I remember making my first dollar doing business. So from Stewart Entrepreneur segment, once we applied to the state of Ohio to become a contractor through the Board of Developmental Disabilities and the Department of Aging, once we got our certification and our license to come to do so, the real work started. Okay, the real work began. The paperwork is the easy part of getting an LLC. Normally that's $100. You can do it online and get it in a few days. You can go to the state of Ohio, sos.ohio.business.gov, I believe, sos.business.gov, or even Google how to start a business in Ohio, and it'll bring you up to the Secretary of State website. Follow the tabs, and it'll help you go to how to classify your business. But that's the easy part. Going to the bank, taking your state certification and your tax ID, and you can get your tax ID instantly once you get your certification. You can print it off right then and that day.
I just wrote this shit. I swear to God. Like 4 hours, like 5 hours ago, I just wrote this shit on my phone. I swear to God.
This is Ben Boston curriculum. Okay, this is the Ben Boston Academy curriculum. But you can get that instantly. Then you can go to the bank the same day with both of these documents with possibly $100 and be able to open up a business bank account. Now you're looked and viewed and recognized as a business legitimately on paper. So I will debunk shit tonight. When you hear people talking about they waiting around all this long ass time for their LLCs, man, they bullshitting you. They don't know what the fuck they doing. They're stacking and just saying it like it's something that to glorify, and it's not. It's the government doesn't fear any business that ain't making no money. Okay, if you ain't making no money and pushing it through there, you ain't recognized. You only hold up this paper for the likes, for the gram. Shout out to the gram. Shout out to my gram. What up, grandma? What up, mama?
No, for sure.
So once you do that, the real work starts. How do you bring your business? You got to tap into marketing, advertisement. You got to beat the street, talk to people, put yourself out there, sell yourself. You got to be able to make relationships and communicate with people. You got to push yourself in a place that you've never been because you ain't never been here. This is new. So you gon' fail. A lot of times people just like to sound like they got it going on. Those who really do move like that, you rarely ever see them. You rarely ever hear them. And when they are making moves, you normally paying them in some kind of way. You normally paying them in some kind of way. Some of y'all be paying me rent, don't even know it.
Some of y'all be passing me customers and don't even know it.
I take care of your family, you don't even know it. You're living in my places and don't even know it. But that's business, man. That's power. That's
persistence. That's persistence along with being consistent. Oh, persistent, consistent. That's the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's like you said, like even going past like the EIN part, like even going past all of it, you still like I said, everybody has something in them. Mm-hmm. You hear it everywhere. Songs, speeches. You gotta speak it into the. You have to look at yourself and say, "Whoo, look." Just like you better like jump off the cliff. Like a lot of people go on vacation, jump off a cliff. Like if you can jump off a cliff, you can start a business.
Yeah. You taking a lot of fucking risk already.
A lot already. Snap. A lot already. But if you can sit here and say, "Woo, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna figure this out some way, somehow." Like I'm gonna do it. Like I guarantee you. Like it's been years. Like I've been out of my life. I'm like. I'm doing good, because each and every single year I'm doing better and better. I'm like, just chill.
Like, let me ask you this real quick, because I said this to my wife Vanessa. Shout out Vanessa, that's my baby. I love you, baby. Thank you for listening to me the other day too. I needed that. Do you feel that your most challenging year that you've had in business was your most productive year?
Yeah, because I was a year where, and that's the thing is that like with business, like if I'm in, here goes another musical quote.
Go ahead.
Meek Mill said it the best. He said, "I'm not in competition with my homie. I'm really in competition with the rollie. My opposition wouldn't be my opposition if they really would have known me." Believe it or not, like the biggest part, like the biggest issue, like in this entire world to me, is fucking me.
It's yourself.
I don't give a fuck. I do, but like the biggest problem to me is me. Is figuring out how. Okay, nigga, like you was just here, just yesterday. Like, don't go back there. How do you move past right there and go forward? Nigga, you gotta break yourself down again. Yeah, you gotta break yourself down again. I gotta break myself down again. Yeah, you gotta break yourself down again. Okay. Now find your motivation again. Speak it back into the universe. Nipsey Hussle said, what he say? Find your purpose or you're wasting air.
That's really good. I like that.
Like it's almost to the point like if you're gonna die working for somebody, who are you gonna really die for? This guy right here, or are you gonna die? Or are you gonna die working for yourself and for your family?
I'll say
setting
this.
them up.
Yeah, I'll say this because we sit on the side of giving opportunities too.
Yeah,
I would love for somebody to trust the guy next to me in my leadership. I would love that, and I have that. I feel like I have that. I have people who are ancestored into us with business. Freedom speakers, I want you to know, like, I've had to have these outer body experience, fourth and fifth dimensions, looking at myself from a third eye view of like, I'm really living inside of a dream that once was an idea.
And nobody would believe me.
Nobody would believe me. I was crazy. I was this. And then now it's like, I always believed in you.
Now you looking like nuts.
How do you, I said it before, how did you always believe in me, or how did you believe in me when I didn't always believe in me? It's possible that this person could have been like an unconditional type of love, like your mama, you know what I'm saying, your family, shit like that. Like, that's my baby. Even though inside it may be like, he doing something. But having to believe in yourself, and I get emotional every time I say it because I believe in power. I believe in spells. I believe in, you go to work, you go to church and you pray to Jesus, that's conjuring up an energy. You pray to Allah, Buddha, that's conjuring up an energy, calling on somebody else's name. But if I call on my own name and I put a spell of belief on my own self, I got a spell of belief on my own self that's so fucking powerful, no man can break it. That I am only where I am by God's grace and this being the inside of me, not the external that you see, because this can be altered. This can be altered. But what's coming out of me, the energy that comes out of me, the being that comes out of me, this person dies and reborn all the time. Almost every time I need to break myself. Purposely, you hear me? Mm-hmm. So this is for people who want to be an entrepreneur. This is for people who are sitting in that family man, businessman, entrepreneur realm. Anybody who identify with this, you will have to hit your own reset button.
Yeah, they hit your own rock bottom.
Yeah.
Oh
I call mine
your
the
own
reset button. Soon as I'm out of my shit, soon as I'm out of whack, I gotta have a conversation of realignment with myself. Like, all right, nigga, get your shit right. You been fucking up. Yo, God a forgiving guy. But you got a track record, nigga. Get your shit right. You don't forget. Bitch ass nigga, get your shit right. But I gotta address me before I feel comfortable sitting on somebody else's couch confessing some shit to them. I need to confess it to myself first. My own dialogue, my own ears need to digest what I'm saying to me. I need to put a spell on myself. I need to be able to have accountability with myself. I need to practice that with myself before I can even tell anybody else to hold accountability. I need to demonstrate, hey, I'm sorry, and that wasn't cool. A player fucked up. I don't even want to shove shit on you of like, this is your fault, but let me demonstrate how much of a G I am and how powerful I am and how much of a fighter I am. And all fights aren't physical. But like, hey, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called your mama a fat boy head ass stanky coochie ass bitch with a fucked up pH balance. I didn't really mean that, though it was true. But I'm sorry because I hurt your feelings and that wasn't the intent. I wanted to let you know I was mad at you. And I ain't have to do that to do it. I'm sorry. Can we be friends? But that's the demonstration of a power of like, hey, most people can't apologize. It's not a strength they have. Some people don't have the accountability strength. Some people don't have mercy. Some people don't have grace. So I give you
I'm glad you said that. That's the word. That's the word I've been teaching. I've been trying to teach my kids. Grace.
Have grace.
Show a little bit of grace.
And give yourself some grace.
Yes, and give yourself some grace. Understand what somebody else is going through. Be able to take a step back, breathe, digress your damn self. Okay, yeah. All right. Understand what somebody else is going through. Because ultimately, like, even like with business, like I said, with business is either gonna make you or break you. That's it, and like that's why I like it. Like it's the greatest. So yeah, I'm a competitor. Like
you are.
It's one of the greatest challenges that like I'm actually like doing right now because like I'm really testing my meta right now. Like I'm really like I'm really sitting here like, look, man, Lord, like fuck them eviction notices. Like I got the fucking money. Like, but like and I'm doing it. Money. I have to keep proving myself and telling myself like, all right, you can do it. But at the same time, like looking at the money, you like, damn, be doing a lot more better than this. Let me go ahead and work on my credit. Let me go ahead and actually just start like really like giving a fuck about like where my money is going.
Yeah.
And how I actually like really want to be like living for real. Because a lot of living situations like pretty fucking expensive.
Very much so, man. Very, very much so. So even with the Ben Boston information we give to our people in there, we give them the information of how to get their credit.
Right.
And just because, and I started giving this information, I'm going to start here. I started giving this information because when people just being transparent, learning to be transparent, taking away the negative narrative of employee versus employer and giving this information, feel like I'm putting a team up on game and I ain't the only one in here just winning. I'm giving leverage.
Right. But that's a whole nother level of understanding too. is being able to actually like take yourself from like a full-time employee and being that type of person who's like, oh, well, fuck this job, or like, to actually understanding like both sides of it, how important the management and employee thing is. Sorry.
I would love to go into politics and sit in those seats somewhere and be able to negotiate terms and laws and policies for people, because I get the chance to understand it from the ground up.
Exactly.
Get to understand what the people need. I'm for the people. Right. I love the people. I am empowered by the people. Fred Hampton type shit. Like, nigga, I love the people. This is why my bro host who ain't here today, he's sick, y'all. So Freedom Speakers, send spirit fingers and positive ginger ale over to my co-host house, the Powell house. He got a lot of kids too, so they ain't getting no sleep. I love you, bro. And then my sister that's over there too. Take care of that man tonight, man. He's a whole lot better director with us when he's released. So sis, hook him up. Render him his due. He been managing and directing the fuck out of everything, man. And that man, most definitely want to give him his flowers. That man is a man 100%, 100 grand. That's my nigga. That's my nigga. And I love going into battle every day with him. So me and him had to have a conversation as kings. And at the time, man, I wasn't as great to that man as I needed to be in business as a leader, because I wasn't there myself. I wasn't even treating myself well. I didn't know how to place a value on me. So how could I show value? If I can show I didn't have a discipline on what I ate, who I talked to, what I put in my body, I didn't have any kind of discipline. That was really some king disease type shit that almost took me out. I was extremely fucking sick, not just physically, but mentally. So when I had to do a hard recalibration, a hard reset, a factory reset, the old me had to die. Spiritually, the old me had to die. And who you see in front of you now, what's coming out of me now, is not the same person. A complete change of my attitude, my mental, my thinking. The old me is in another universe, dead or in jail, and he ain't doing well. He not doing well. Okay. This person here is like, I have the opportunity to do it right again. I got an opportunity to not fuck up a gift that God has been able to grant me with. I had to just have the understanding and ability to not be my own worst enemy. Having any and everything at my disposal. I'm having money, I'm having women, I'm having opportunities. I gained the world and lost myself, which brings a depression to me of money, of like, I have more than what I need to take care of things. That's what I have as the entrepreneur. But it becomes, I'm so sensitive to who are around me, because I had to figure out who really was around me and what they were for. Were they purposeful for me? Is this person really into me because of me, not because of how much I can save them, how much that I can change their lives, how much, hey, I can change your area code, or $60 for your phone bill, and you willing to give yourself all up? Oh, I just need $60. Whatever. What can I do for you? I'm like, me and my niggas smoke up and drink up. That for breakfast. So $60 make or break you? That ain't even nothing I want.
For me, it's like, just trust me.
Trust me.
Trust. Yeah. No. Like for me, like that's like regardless of not like what I've had to learn, like with businesses, regardless of not like who wants to interact with you business wise, or who does, what the things go right, what things go wrong. Regardless of not, what most people don't really understand and take a really grasp of is that, nigga, you still gotta hold it together.
Yeah.
You still gotta not be like, okay, this customer wants to see me. What's the problem now?
Right.
No, you're trying to like, okay, but then you need the money. What people don't understand is that a nigga really has to keep it together. Between like you said, depression, the losing yourself and just feeling yourself a bit too much, the everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nigga has to keep it together. So the only way to keep it together is to actually figure out how to actually do better.
How to be better. Yeah.
And you actually have to actually care, because you still have to, like you said, you still have to actually remind yourself of actually why it is you're actually doing this. But then the people who are actually watching you, believe it or not, the biggest people who you actually have to prove to are the ones who actually put the greatest trust in you, and that's the ones who live in your household. Daddy, you been at work all day? How was work? Huh.
Yeah, because if you've been at work every day all day, and then they come home and things not working, it's like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were working.
If the bread ain't coming in, then a nigga ain't working.
It ain't working.
So
it don't matter where the hours is at. If it ain't adding up.
If it ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, is like it's a whole nother level of accountability, especially when you got your partner looking at you, your wife looking at you, whoever it is, whatever. You got your kids looking at you. You got to pay bills. You got to do whoop whoop.
You got to produce.
You got to produce, but at the same time, you have to try to refrain from wanting to be motherfucking mediocre. A mediocre ass person, jeez, right? That's, I mean, to be told, Cameron, like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it has been times where like business and work bit slow, and I swear to you, man, like I really felt like I was putting applications, like I ain't gonna hold you, like things were slow, like, and I did reapply back to like my old job, but of course, because I burnt through vacation days, and
you gave them a fuck you, they felt.
but the one thing I also had to realize was that I also had somebody looking out for me too. Like the company I was at, like this was like the first black supervisor there, so he was looking out for me and anybody else of color.
Yeah,
he was looking out. But as soon as he started getting shit, then he was like you said, the thing, he bounced and left. But then it was like, ooh, oh man, this is what the white man really looked like up front. It was like that. They really started coming. And it got to the point where it was like they started coming. Like, I swear to you, dude. Swear. They was coming. And then even like it got to the point where like I was being on time. And then it was to the point where it's like, now I was working too much overtime. Or it was let's go ahead and move you on another machine. Or it got to the point where like they wanted to redesign the machine shop and bring new machines in there, and like my machine was down for a long time, so I wasn't working. I was painting though.
Right.
I was painting though, but by that time, like I was actually painting like under my business name, and I was still working full time. I didn't actually quit my job till maybe like 10 months afterwards. Excuse the face, I'm a big geek.
Good product.
About 10 minutes, about 10 months. And I'm just like, I gotta do something different. I'm like, cause I already know like they gonna eat me. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I told you, like even though I actually gave a shit about the job, the politics didn't give a shit about me.
Yeah.
They want
the company didn't care about the people in there.
Nothing.
They didn't care about the people.
Nothing.
Or not everybody. Not that they didn't care about the people. They probably had their select few, but they didn't care about everybody unanimously, having at least a base for how everybody.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. During them fucking Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, I wanted to be like, I'm eating this shit, man. Fuck this shit. Like it because like a lot of for me, like I said, like Drake said on Deeper Pockets, he was like, there's something in me. It's taking over. I gotta break it down, bust it open, and then start rolling, and somebody else start taking notice. I knew, like, I started getting to a point where, like, I was fed the fuck up. And, like, I'm saying, I'm, like, fucking 25, 26, 27, maybe. I'm irritated as shit. I'm, like, I feel like a fucking 50-year-old man. Like, hey, Joe, like, I feel that shit. These fucking chairs is hard as hell. The hell with this place. This fucking turkey. Like, but the bullshit, like, 10-cent raise, though. I'm working all this overtime, but if I actually had to sit here and figure out what little overtime I needed, but then what the max was, that's fucking retarded. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's no, but like that's sad to the point where like you actually have to actually like put a fucking ceiling on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even your ceiling. They're telling you that you're only worth 17, and then oh well, yeah, they bounce, and then you move to a level 4 machine, so now you're worth $20-something an hour, man.
For some people, that works.
I can't.
But for others,
no, I'm just saying.
It don't. Yeah, for others, it don't. So I say this, man, for me learning myself, like, and learning people, learning a team, still becoming like a master of human nature.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want that responsibility. Some people don't want to grow. They want the protection and safety of the job. They want to be able to, make the money and put that on themselves. And some people want that because they possibly haven't been exposed to more. Not that that isn't a negative. Not that that's a negative, but it is. Of like,
true,
you do need to grow and expand if you can. Of information, knowledge, you don't have to possibly pursue, but somebody should show you your value. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's why this right here is is necessary, because like now mind you, like I'm not knocking anybody like who works. If it works, it works. To be told, like I got so much shit on my mind, which I'm trying to do, I really don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, if you actually feel and you actually know for a fact that like you're grinding a bit too hard, and you feel like it is possible to like grind a bit harder, but actually take like the second hustle seriously, or just whatever it takes, or whatever to do it, pretty much to do whatever if you feel like you could. If you feel like it, then just do it.
Right.
That's it. Like, that's it. I'm just straight and narrow.
Right. So I say this, man, when it comes to, as I've learned, you not meant to be capped at a certain thing. You want to control and are controlling your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you are demonstrating to myself and to other people who are involved in viewing you of the grind and the hustle gonna come with some bumps and bruises, gonna come with some lumps, but like keep in mind, I'm winning, and it's still a fight. That's what it's always gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So me learning, just even with the team, of some people who I could have great plans for them. I could say, hey, I want to be able to put this person in this place where it becomes with more money, but they don't want the more responsibility or the overall responsibility that comes with it. So what's just kind of having the flexibility with businesses, we'll give more money, but we will add in just a lower level of responsibility. Let them know how important they will be in any position of what we need for them to do, just really giving the curriculum and let them know how valuable they are and how valuable we value them. And them taking this on helps out the entire team, not just singularly myself or nothing. That is you helping out everybody else coming in doing this or doing this, taking this on. That makes it a lot easier. And expressing to them like, man, at the end of the year, you doing this saves the company X amount of dollars, so you can be able to get a raise. And I'm not a conventional raise giver of, oh, you been here a year, you get this, you get that. No. I'm a performance and clutch type of raise entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Hey, this person's been coming in clutch. They've been picking up this. They've been making themselves a part of the team by doing more. Not just what they've contracted to do, but just doing more. How more can I be of service? And that allows us to be able to say, how much more can we do for you?
Right.
How much more can we take care of you? Or you coming in, freeing up our hours and time that we don't have to do these roles anymore. We trained you properly, giving you the curriculum you need to pull from. You have us, you have your leaders around you that are giving you examples, and your ongoing training. It's a continuous thing. It's not just you went through orientation and that's it.
Right.
But when this person is showing efforts and showing more, I'll look at that and see it on the level of numbers when I'm doing payroll and I'm doing books and I'm doing this. I'm like, this person has really been okay. So when I'll see them coming in clutch, some may just see it on their paycheck. They get $1, $2 raise, continuous. And hey, little memo note, keep up the good work.
Right.
Some may get, I may just come in and walk around like, damn, you been here? How long you been? I can give you $1 raise.
Right.
But it's one of those of like, in the grand scheme of things, I get to see the entire board, everything. As I gracefully say, I started all this motherfucking shit.
Literally.
Okay, I started it all. I know what each position needs. I know how to develop it. I know how to critique it. I know how to grow it. That's my shit. But I share it. I share responsibility. I don't want it all to fall on me, because then that's just fucking selfish, isn't it?
I would love to be able to share the responsibility.
I have to share it.
But like that's the thing though, is it's like once you start like getting with business and you start going and you're going, the thing is like the bumps that you fall on, you're not falling back on them. Will Smith said you fall forward. You fall forward on everything that you're doing, and you're not falling back. You just keep moving forward. But even as you're moving forward, like you want to tell people how to move forward. You want to try and coach them along and try how to move forward. Like, it brings like it kind of brings like a whole nother level like responsibility. It's like, damn, like I gotta help somebody.
Yeah, and I feel selfish if I harbor this information, or I'm only at a place of comfort, material wise, or I don't have certain worries. Like I got other sets of worries, but I'm not per se burdened by what I would consider expenses. Like I gotta spend money, so no matter where I'm spending money, it's like I gotta spend it, because if I don't, I gotta eventually give a portion of it back to the government. So every dollar earned is gonna be $1 spent somewhere.
Ain't no point even thinking about it.
I can advance. I can get my. So I'll tell you this. In business, we're structured as an S corp, as an S corp business, and that came along because of a financial tax break these are rules that the government lay out. There's nothing that they're playing favor to me, but there's a side of business that I didn't know until I obtained, an accountant to help me manage all of these things, because I don't know. Like I had to obtain that information. But him explaining to us of the money that we were making and going into this particular quarter, seeing our projections, he was like, hey man, it might be in your best interest for us to open you up a S corp, so that you make yourself an employee of the company and you pay payroll tax for yourself along with the team, and you take a hefty salary, which saves you on the back end of not having to be double dipped into Medicaid, Medicare, taxes of that nature.
Free gas.
Yeah. So me being able to, take that information on, give myself a salary, but learning business and like I got addicted to things of that nature. But when I learned, like, okay, this is how much money I make, this is how much money I spend, these are what my expenses are, these are what my taxes are, this is the cost of doing business. Certain things just become an expense. Just becomes an expense. I got to pay the mortgage in here. I got to pay the rent there. I got to pay for the lights and gas at 3, 4, 5 different locations.
You learn how to reason.
Yeah, it comes with, you learn how to reason, you learn how to negotiate, you learn to become political, diplomatic.
Even with yourself.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay, I'm okay with this.
I'm gonna let this shit go.
Yeah, I'm okay. Or truth be told, I'm not gonna cut you off, but like even for me, just telling myself, like Kevin Gates said, sometimes I gotta make little bands with my lonely. Like sometimes I gotta remember, like when I had first started my business, and like, please, like if you're interested in being like an entrepreneur, don't be afraid to go on like Facebook and find groups of, different business owners, like different businesses, and ask questions and get advice, because honestly that could be those little bit of comments, those words can be the major difference between like you actually taking a step forward or taking a step back between doing it. It's a little bit about being vulnerable, but at the same time, You gotta look at
Yeah, you gotta want it, man. You gotta want it. You gotta put your best foot forward, man. And I say, even for myself now, learning business, learning some of these skills that I learned in business, like how to stand up for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
How to be able to say what it is that I want and I need, and to be able to discipline myself to say, I don't want that. Don't do that to me.
And I can do better.
Yeah, I could do better. I am better. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I don't deserve this. This is a certain value that I have beyond the tangible or the material things of, yeah, I could buy you a Camry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay your rent. Or like shit that you like it's like you ain't responsible enough for yourself. Mm-hmm. One of them, like somebody else gotta come in and save you for being irresponsible, or
Right.
you ain't gotta discipline yourself as a person. So how the fuck am I as a man or a husband gonna come in and discipline you, or as a boss gonna come in and discipline you, or just a citizen in a city of like discipline somebody that's trying to do something to me or not having that knack. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns into like, man, you have to really walk the walk. You gotta be. It can't be no faking in there because it'll crack. You have to be yourself. You have to be genuine. You have to be authentic. You have to be whatever it is. You can't fake it. So me learning like and knowing like, man, I started losing a lot in business at a certain time when I was in that king's disease. When I had whatever it is that I want and I didn't know a limit. I couldn't discipline myself having things at my disposal. Just having it wherever and whenever I wanted got me fat as fuck, got me sad as fuck. Like I gained the world, but I lost myself. I legitimately lost myself. I had materials, I had those things, but none of that shit valued like family to me. None of that shit valued human interaction, human nature. It didn't mean anything if I wasn't able to spend time with my children, spend time with my family, my lady. It didn't mean much. If I lost them in any kind of way, a car wouldn't heal that. No. A new house wouldn't fix that. Right. More ice on my wrist wouldn't heal that pain. You know what I'm saying? I would need love and comfort from a healing energy type of person. Knowing that is an energy that I have and it can be drained, it can be taken advantage of because that's the selflessness. That's the selflessness, but a very healthy blend of I exercise saying no a lot. A lot. For my own self-preservation, I have to say no. I got caught up too much saying yes and then couldn't live up to something that I agreed to in happiness. Putting this person before me, knowing that, hey, whatever I'm offering them is probably what I need for myself too.
Because you're just so selfless.
You're selfless.
You have so much in you. You literally can just
give it away. I got more than what I need in a lot of things. I got more than what I need.
And truth be told, like my whole thing, I enjoy the fact that my time is not controlled. Besides, I guess whatever it is that's determined that's motivating me. Like I go for the gut, gotta go for the guts. You gotta always constantly want to improve. You gotta always constantly want to look at your numbers and see, okay, well, for me it was like, yeah, okay, there are a couple of aspects of like painting. I'm like, nigga, just fucking spend the money. Buy the fucking machine.
Learn.
Just fucking learn. Just stop being so comfortable with spending the money, man. Actually be comfortable with just being like but at the same time, it's like depending on like the people who like I might have brought on. Like it might have ain't gonna spray like it's cool. I'm paying you. It's alright. Bro, like I'm comfortable with that. I'm paying you. But then it got to a point where like, nah, I'm not comfortable. But then also got to a point where like now it's like whenever like we do collaborate or do shit, I want to make sure I bring my shit to the table. Especially for the fact that like I love painting. So it's like you definitely have to you have to want to improve. And the only way to improve, you got to believe in reinvesting in yourself, breaking it back down, breaking the formula back down, figuring out what you need to add into the formula to try and get this to going, and not be afraid to actually just go at it alone.
Oh yeah, that one. We gonna
go. I mean, man, like
we gonna tap on this for a second, freedom speakers.
I just want to say this. It almost seems like we're running a business that like each and every single bad thing that happens, like it kind of feels like your brain as an entrepreneur like builds like a cocoon, like
a callus,
slowly but surely. It's like you keep going, you know, like it grows and it grows because it's like it's for your own protection. It's like what you're doing right now. You're literally waking up every single morning and you're paid like ain't the tracks ain't down. I'm just okay. This one gotta go left. This one gotta go right. This one gotta go left. Okay, this one kind of fucked up. I gotta now back. Stop. Put a pause. Start. Readjust. It's like every single day when you wake up, it's a constant fight. I enjoy it. It's fucking exhausting sometimes. I enjoy it, but it's fucking exhausting sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to try and like keep it together. Sometimes you try and think about like some things just become a bit too much. But then that's why at the same time, like you still have to remember, like I started this journey. I can't sit here and just stop. I got people
too deep in, too far in.
I've been 10 toes down. Like, let me go ahead and readjust, recalibrate, put the headphones back on, get the music back flowing. Let me go ahead and listen to my music. Let me go ahead and listen to the baby, no tears. I ain't got no tears, you know. Like, I ain't got no time to cry. I don't have no like choke up a little bit. But I don't have time to. But I don't necessarily like. There's no time to be so held up.
I can't.
It's just, nigga, you either going to see what's going to happen next, like try to like see what happened next, and you know keep, or you just gonna be like laid. You gonna be looking like Mike Tyson hit you in the face. You gonna be like, oh, I got this dude. Oh yeah, this you know, you gonna if you ain't like, it's like when you wake up every single morning, it's like it don't even matter what time you wake up, whatever time you decide to run your business. If you watch Game of Thrones, you see the shields and stuff, the armors, the head plates, the chest plates, but also thinking like, yeah, you know, pass me that, you know, this, that, and the third, you know, let's go ahead and get everybody set up, you know. They're on guard, they're on point every single day, and some of the days don't nothing happen. Some of the days they just walking around. But for an entrepreneur,
with the day, your enemy waiting for you to slip.
But for an entrepreneur, you're constantly thinking about your biggest enemy is not making money. Your biggest enemy besides yourself, the sidekick is not making money. The sidekick is not figuring out how to evolve your business, how to evolve your marketing.
So I'll say this, man, you hitting on a lot of different things. So one of them is freedom speakers for people out there. You cannot lone wolf entrepreneurship. Okay? You cannot lone wolf entrepreneurship. You can't be in the kitchen making all them plates on your own. You can't be out there shoveling that snow by yourself, cutting that grass, possibly even cutting the hair. You need a nigga to sweep it up, clean up the clippers, buy and sell your product with all of that, man. So you cannot. You need a financial person, an accountant possibly, to be able to help you maximize your spending and let you know what laws and things that are out there for your industry. So you need that, man. You need that. So one of some of the information I want to get to people out there tonight is for any entrepreneur and hustler. I hope COVID has taught us all something when it comes to business, okay? As a business that is, I'm thankful to still be open and operational with all the different things that we've done, but learning how to adjust and to adapt, that you find some empathy and sympathy for your employer. Or if you have become an employer yourself, because a lot of people have stepped into the realm of business opening so many different doors for themselves and their others and their children, and showing that, hey, you are learning to make a difference and changing yourself. So I say that to say, hopefully you gain some empathy and sympathy now, become stepping into that level of entrepreneurship that you get to see that, hey, you can't say fuck a job when if you leveling up in your business and you need to hire help now. Are you gonna hire the help or the person that says fuck a job? They got that mentality, or they're constantly trying to rival on who is in charge, and you picking at you for you giving them an opportunity. They're growing off of your pain. All right, so I ask you, like, hey, you have to really care about people, and I hope that you learn some empathy and some sympathy with people, giving them an opportunity, giving them a chance, giving them grace that, hey, maybe they came from a failed school system. Maybe they came from a failed employer previously. Maybe they never been taught a certain value about themselves. So when people come and work with us and they become a part of the team, they come in as the talent with us, we recalibrate that whole human being and let them know how valuable they are. How many owners do that? How many owners give a fuck?
How many owners show their playbook?
Yeah, like very transparent.
Show little hints to the playbook. Give out a little bit of
some leverage, bro. I'm leveraging the game, not just running up overtime.
Show you some shit, because, like you said, being an entrepreneur, you can't do it yourself. You're constantly trying to look for you're looking for one or two things. For one, you're looking for your exit plan. Your exit plan, you're looking for real estate, whatever. Either that, or you're looking to actually try and build up a business. Now, the one thing that I've learned in business is that the definition of actually having a real successful business is that if you can actually sit down and write out a manual for your business and hand that manual to somebody else, and somebody can read that manual and learn how to actually comprehend and run that business, then you've run a successful business.
Mm-hmm. And you've simplified it into an art form. You put it into an art form that someone can read this or watch this. So speaking as an art, we discussing business now with our etiquette and our vocab and our ADD and ADHD. I'm on the spectrum. I don't know what I got, but me, what's that other billionaire? Most billionaires on the spectrum. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
I'm gonna find something.
I'm on my way. But I say that, man, just we show love in that leadership position and entrepreneur position. You have to care about people. You have to care about growth. You have to care about development. You almost have to be sacrificial and make yourself the example that it can be done. It can be proven. So we don't do this for show. We do this for love. We do this for the care of what we do. We do it with a hint of survival. We do it with a hint of teaching. Like, hey, I tell my son, I wish I had a me in my household growing up like you do. Mm-hmm. That every day he has somebody there that cares. Mm-hmm. That is, I'm handling parenting every day as a new thing because it's new to me every day. I ain't never done this shit before. Mm-hmm. And I'm sometimes as immature as the goddamn kids. Because I like to have fun. God damn it. I've earned to laugh and do shit, bitch. So but I give myself that grace, man, and I learned to love myself, and I've learned to place a value on myself, and I learned to radiate that and show that and give that to other people and let them know, like, hey, you can have a value for you too, man. You can mandate somebody to treat you a certain fucking way. Mm-hmm. You don't have to subject yourself to just the epitome of what somebody feel like they're gonna give you. Mm-hmm. Remember, we just spoke about that at work. That the boss felt like, hey man, they gonna just give you whatever the fuck they want to give you. Mm-hmm. Your spouse can feel like they gonna just give you whatever the fuck they want to give you. Mm-hmm. The world can feel like they gonna just give you whatever the fuck they want to give you. Mm-hmm. You gotta stand up and demand some shit or fucking take it. Mm-hmm. All right, except in the realm of women, because then that's like they can press charges and shit. That's like stuff. Don't do that. But say something to that motherfucker. All right, speak up. Don't do that. Say something, nigga. Say something. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Do not harbor. Do not suppress. it will cause a war inside of yourself and eat you up, and you putting a punishment on you that you don't deserve because of how somebody else is treating you. So you fucking yourself over twice. You allowing them to treat you some goddamn way, and then you allowing yourself to allow yourself to be treated a motherfucking way. 2 wars inside of you, and this person is living fucking carefree. You better say something.
And for one, they put their pants on the same way you do. And for 2, ain't you allowing them to put a fucking ceiling over you? Fuck that. It ain't too many years of my fucking life. Hell no.
I'm not about to allow. I'm not gonna let somebody dictate how great I can fucking be. I would never do that. I would never do that again. I muted myself at a time in my life because my light was more like, I'm a deep, passionate, philosophical, intelligent, emotionally immature fucking adult. Okay, right. I crossed over mentally to a different place that shit makes sense, and I know what I gotta do. All right, me bitching and moaning comes a part of me bitching and moaning about it is a part of my grieving with having to do it. It's a part of my coping of fuck another day. All right, let's get it, man. Let me put this spell of happiness on myself. Let me put my good tunes on. Let me smoke my potent bag of herbal essence that helps me connect, be up so high I'm tickling Jesus' feet.
Sometimes
just tickling Jesus' feet.
Sometimes it requires silence. I ain't go. Silence. Silence on the road from me. No, like, and I'm like, no music. I'm be like, it's been a certain time period. Like I've had to like really like break myself down and really calibrate and not listen to no music, listen to nothing.
So we gonna go introspective for a second, man. We're gonna go mental.
Okay.
When you are in silence by yourself, are your thoughts in your head louder?
Yes.
Can you hear your own thoughts louder? Like,
oh yeah. I'm believe it or not, like my greatest supervisor, Vic, at Kindermetal, he told me one time, he was like, look, like, you having a hard time? He was like, just sit back, relax, do what they do on Law and Order. Just sit back, throw all the pieces up, and just sit back. You know you got the information in front of you. Just piece it together. Silence. Piece it together. That's the one thing that like being an entrepreneur has like done for me. Like it's allowed me to be able to control how loud the world to me is loud. It's loud. Right now what we doing is just quiet. The world outside of my house, is loud. But I've actually learned to be able, like, I've learned to just say, no. I want silence. So whether it's between the hours of like 2 and 4 in the morning, or if it's between the fucking hours of like me driving from one job to another job, and I'm at 3 or 4 job sites in a day, like, it doesn't matter. If I know that I need silence from like the outside world, from like mainly music and just everything, and I need to take it back to square one, take it back to zero, I will do it. Only because I refuse to crash. I refuse to burn out.
I like that.
I refuse to let not only as being an entrepreneur, like, it helps you with your, it helps, like, really, most importantly, it helps you with yourself. It helps you with dealing with other people. It helps you with dealing with yourself, other people, grace, understanding other people. It helps you understand life,
the human interaction.
It helps you become the parent. You know, it helps you become like, oh, I'm gonna call you when something's going wrong. Like, you know,
it forces you to learn skills.
But it also helps you be able to reason. It helps you be able to say, okay, well, let's think about this. You as an entrepreneur, like, you have your own equation in your head, how you figure out life. He's just like,
because there's no morally, you got your how you feel, but there's no right or wrong way of how you do things.
Never.
So I'm gonna give you a quick story, real quick. Freedom Speakers, you might have heard on some of the advertisements for the show. The children are on the show. They have an ad on there, and that came about actually almost as a punishment. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the story. my oldest boy, he who I love, that's my junior, man, Kenwan Ali Jr. Powerful name. Powerful. But he adjusting to 6th grade, having this newfound responsibility placed upon him, newfound goals and achievements he need to meet. Like, he has to make gains as everyone else. So one of the teachers were a sub, and they seem like the cool sub. They communicate and meet the children with a level of humor, because humor is every human being's commonplace. So in another universe, man, I was going to be a teacher or a professor in college, and I would have used humor to connect. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it with the kids. That being said, KJ ended up being viewed as disrupting the class because he connected with the humor, but didn't know when to turn it off. Led to my man having a detention, led to having to explain, like, you got to handle this, you can't do this, can't do that. But then it also led to we having a counseling meeting at the school about his behavior. Not that it was a negative, but like, hey, let's talk about this. What's going on? What's going on? So him expressing like, hey, the teacher was cool. He was laughing. He knew jokes. He knew the gritty. He knew this. So I had to hear it and view it as like he wasn't doing anything negative. Like, he was being a kid. Mm-hmm. He's being a kid. I am the uncle and the dad that's viewed as cool, but don't play. Right. It's like Uncle Juan, cool, but he make us all do it. Make us all clean up. He make us all. I'm that uncle. If one getting the ass whooping, they all getting the ass whooping. But if one getting the bike, they all gonna get a bike. I'm that uncle. You know what I'm saying? I'm that role model. I'm not a role model, by disclaimer. I am an example. I am not a role model. Don't do the shit that I do. You do shit like me. Don't be like me though. Okay. This is the disclaimer. But when the school was like, gave the straight line of when the teacher is up there talking and you're interrupting, you're heckling the teacher. That's their stage. They allow that. And school is the place where you cannot do that. So hearing that and understanding that and comprehending that, I said, okay, well, if the school is giving you a place where you can't exercise, or not you can't, they're telling you cannot exercise your gift here of being funny and comical and things of that nature. Thank you for setting the base. So since he can't do it here, I'll give him a place where he can. I'll give him a place on the show. Told him, okay, man, you so funny, nigga. Write some jokes. I want 5 minutes of jokes and you better be funny. And he broke down his sense of humor of like, I'm not like knock joke funny. Like, not like that, but I'm funny if like somebody says something, I can like say something back funny, we can go like that. Right, so I'm like, all right, I gotta probably have you on the show then, man, and we just talking. I get to see how funny you can be with me, man. But the teacher stage is only in that classroom. On this show, Permission to Speak Freely podcast, you worldwide, baby. So you only get to earn to do this if you perform well in school by allowing the teacher to teach. I'm some kind of fucking parent, bruh. Right. I could have just went upside his head, which he got ass whooping, for other shit. It wasn't pertaining to that. But I was just on some I love you type of ass whooping. Right. But me expressing to him like, hey man, this is gains that you need to make. You weren't doing anything wrong by demonstrating a part of yourself, but this isn't the time nor the place. Let dad and mom create the platform for you to be able to do so, for you and you to earn it. You do well in school, you make the grade in school, you get to be able to perform and put yourself into this art world that you want to be in. But it's still gains, man. You got to make it. So he got it and he understood. And look to see him more, people. The man is extremely funny. He's extremely talented. He's extremely handsome. He's extremely smart. And he just so happened to be named me. Right, Kenwan Ali. And I tell him that, man, just even like when I'm teaching him and I'm throwing game at him. He's 11 right now, so I'll tell him when he do shit, I'll be like, hey, I've been an 11-year-old boy named Kenwan before. You don't know I'm sensei right now. You don't know I'm You don't know how great that I am right now, but you will.
Right.
But you will. But let's ease on there. This is our first time here together, man. I don't want you to, but breaking it down to him, like, hey, man, I wish somebody had these conversations with me on a daily basis, like father style, father-wise, like that means something. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that in that tone and that voice,
getting that level of confidence.
For sure, and then demonstrating it, being able to be like, him being like, hey man, don't nobody want no issues with my dad. I see my dad handle things. He stands up for people. He stands up for himself. He does for so much. He does. And all he asks is for us to be quiet, and I can't do that. But it's an understanding of like, he has to see it. Mm-hmm. He has to see it. Mm-hmm. So on that note, man, that situation brought us closer together when in some households he wouldn't have got a chance to, you wouldn't be able to hear his side of the story.
No, for sure.
You wouldn't have been able to him to say, man, the teacher was really cool and funny and made me want to actually learn. I got so caught up in being fun that, I got an intention behind it. I became disruptive because, he was funny and but he wasn't alone. Mm-hmm. It was other kids too, but you my child, goddammit. And that's what I say. And you not white.
It's a level of perception that you gain throughout your journey. It's a level of perception. It's being able to actually still be able to see it before see it. Mm-hmm. Like my dad always told me, he was like, you gonna start, so you better see that fantasy all the way through. Like, be able to see it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like even with this road, you gotta understand, when you're inspired, you're inspiring even when you don't think that you're inspiring. You still gotta show up. Mm-hmm. You gotta show for your customers. You gotta show for your workers. You gotta show for your children, for your family. You have to, as an entrepreneur, you have to show up 24 hours a day, 7 days out of the week.
No off days.
Believe it or not, only during them off days is probably when you get your earned boss lunch break for an hour or 2 hours, maybe, whenever. And but other than that, you don't get to pick and choose when you want to just release your brain. You can't do it.
You can't do that. Nah, it's extremely difficult to cut off that subconscious.
And truth be told, oh my goodness, people like Jay-Z, everybody, people who had to, people who adjust what they do and just how they decide to live that, live their lives and stuff like that. You really you start to think about move A, move B, C, D, E, F, G, only because you care about fucking Z.
Yeah.
You haven't reached Z just yet, but you care about actually reaching the end of the end of your personal finish line. However, as you're paving your way and seeing it through, all you just know is I just need motherfuckers to be great and be good, and I need to know that I did my very best. It's time that's your end of the road. But as you're getting to that end of the road, you're going at it alone. You add people to it, and you bouncing back. You're constantly still having to adjust.
It's gonna always be adjustment. It's gonna always be a level of having to critique yourself, man. It's gonna always be a level of having to demonstrate what you're asking. Mm-hmm. You're like, hey man, I need y'all to do this or do that or show up this kind of way. This is kind of how I need you to do it. And when you show it and you model it, it's one of them you can fall back on it hey man, I'm giving you the example. Mm-hmm. You either not trying to gain it, listen to it, or it's just not that important to you. Mm-hmm. But anything that is important should not be neglected. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It should not be neglected, man. So is a key thing to be able to prioritize your time, where you're putting yourself, where you putting your energy, where you putting your money, who really with you. Some people can, I said this to my wife the other day when we was talking, I'm like, man, as much as expenses that I do have to pay, that just comes with the cost of doing business and me understanding it. I still don't like bills. I still don't want bills. I still don't want to be dissatisfied with having to pay for a service that I'm not satisfied with. You know what I'm saying? Or pay a person that I'm not satisfied with their production of what they're doing, they're purposely are not giving me their best, and I deserve that. I'm giving the opportunity and making the way, and I'm greasing the palm for this person to feel like they're gonna just give me their just whatever they feel.
But you know what the most like it's not toxic. You know the weird thing about business though is that you still have to actually still prepare your mind even when you're in the process of even when you're in the process of actually like making your plans. You have to be in the process of your plans failing at the same time. You have to like I was talking to this one painting contractor. He just told me, he was like, hey, one thing I just know is that I stay prepared. He was like, hey, any one of these crews could like say, you know, fuck this job and, you know, forget, you know, like this interior. I gotta be ready to go in there, my sprayer, and be ready to go ahead and get it done and get the job done. Whoop, whoop. And it's like, yeah, it's even like that now. But it's like you have to. It's like being like it's like trying to be the best quarterback ever. But though you want to throw that ball, you still gotta. All right, I ain't ready to throw it just yet.
Yeah, you gotta the perfect time and things gotta line up. Everybody has to be where they need to be for that to work.
You have to be a motion guy. Moneybag Yo, a motion guy. Like his whole song "Breathe Punch" breaks down like a whole 24. Like you have to be on motion for 24 hours. Shows to figure out how to get more money. Like doing like this, put people on this and that third, advertising, like whatever. It doesn't matter. You're constantly having to figure out how to actually stay in motion while being in motion, while being awake, and then trying to still get sleep. And then still,
I like being awake but still trying to get sleep.
And then still trying to have an appetite for food, you know, and then whatever else. Like it's a rush. It's like a speeding car. I love the high. Like this is kind of speak freely.
For sure.
I love the highway. The highway is a perfect example for like whether it's life or pretty much I say being an entrepreneur. They say go 60, but you know you trying to go. Yeah, yo,
you gotta push it.
Yo, determination is saying push it, like go, like Redo, Fast and the Furious, that shit. But even like while you're driving or it's a regular speed limit, somebody driving slow, like you still gotta anticipate what another car is gonna do. Swerve, you have to always be in motion and get to your destination.
Right.
But I feel like the highway is the perfect way to relax. It's a way for me to be able to be like, okay, I'm driving, I got my blunt, I'm just back, I'm driving, I'm thinking, and it's silent, and I'm just thinking, or music might be playing. But for the most part, if I'm in this mindset, it's silent. But I'm watching the car swerve by, like I'm just thinking, like I try to piece the puzzles together any way possible. Whether it's through music, my playlist coming up, traffic is just I'm like, all right, like things moving slow right here. I can improve my business. What's the next step? What's been holding? Like it's like speed, slow, but you still eventually get there. But you're still in motion.
No, you good, bro, man. So, we've been going for a little bit, people, and this is how we roll, man. Our conversations are very in depth, man. We go over and beyond just the general information that you may think that businessmen talk about of how we can make more money to just do things for ourselves, when it's really making more money to better our team and get better equipment and better information and protection. So this would be part one of the conversation from sewer to entrepreneur. And look forward for more content of business and information of how to level up yourself, your self-improvement, your finance, your family, your business, everything. You can follow me on Instagram at permission, 2_ speak freely podcast. That's permission, 2_ speak freely podcast.
Nice. And I'm Marsalis with Full Service Painting. You can find me on Instagram under Full Service Painting. Facebook, same thing, Full Service Painting, or you can look under Marsalis Clay. But if you're looking for any interior painting or anything, just click on a link, and all estimates are free. Look forward to me being here again, I guess. Yes, no, not I guess. No, I'm a fucking
Definitely,
be here.
for sure.
This is
Definitely.
this is a vibe right here.
For sure, man. So, listeners, freedom speakers, thank you guys for tuning in to us here at Permission to Speak Freely. Peace.
Flight 807 approaching runway 7 Bravo. Keep it.